Ladies, we are here tonight. We are here tonight on the C Show to talk about college football. It is Saturday, and what do we do here on the C Show Saturday? We talk about college football. You should know that by now, ladies and gentlemen. You should know that by now. If you don't, I'm very sad right now with you. Um, but let's talk about college football here tonight on the C Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's I think you guys know who my team is, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But let's talk about some other action that went down tonight on Saturday football. All right, well, first, let's talk about that. The number one team in the nation, Georgia, has lost. Tonight, they lost to the number 10 team in the nation, Auburn. I believe the final score was what? Was it 41 to like 17? I forgot. Auburn did a pretty nice job of winning that football game. They really did. They surprised a lot of people. Um, they really went out there and really completely outplayed Georgia, the number one team in the nation. I was never 100% sure with Georgia, to be honest with you. I didn't think they were that much of a good football team. I think the whole time they were really they did not deserve to be number one. I think to me the team that deserves to be number one was Alabama, and I think that will happen now in the next few days when the new rankings come in. I think Alabama will be number one. To me, Georgia, they're a good football team. They're not as good as number one. And I had a feeling they were going to eventually lose one or two games. Been hell of a season by them so far. First loss of the season. Auburn team's a pretty good football team. But this tells you that they're not a number one team because look at the separation. Now, is it possible for for number 10 to be the number one? Yes. But not like this. They really beat the hell out of them. And I think you saw tonight that if Auburn, the number 10 team in the nation, can beat Georgia, the number one team in the nation, it's because Georgia's it's not as good as advertised. So I'm not too surprised they lost. I did not know when they were going to lose. I'm surprised they lost to Auburn, but I'm not surprised they lost because I had a feeling they were not as good as advertised. So they go down tonight, first loss of the season. We'll see what's in their future for Georgia and where the committee ranks them in the next few days. Then Alabama escapes, the number two team in the country escapes a very scary game where they almost lost to Mississippi State. At the end, they're able to win it with a touchdown. But yeah, that was a scary game for Alabama. They could have lost that game, and that would have been trouble. The number 1, 2, and 3 teams in the nation would have gone down for the first time in history. So that did not happen. But Alabama escaped an upset and a surprising upset at the hands of Mississippi State. What else can I say on the C Show tonight? Well, it's time to talk about my team. My team, Notre Dame. Tonight they got the ass kicking of a lifetime versus Miami, 41 to 7. We got the ass kicking of a lifetime tonight. I thought we had no energy since the start of the game. You could tell that we were not matching the energy Miami brought out tonight. We completely fell flat on our face. I had a feeling this could happen since the start of the game. These big games in the past we have had problems with. A few years ago, we had to go to Florida State and face when they were a good football team coming off the national championship win when they had Jameis Winston in there, and we played them really good. But at the end, Jameis Winston won. I believe the next year we had to go against Clemson, and obviously Watson was the quarterback, and we played them very good. But at the end, Watson won. And then last year we had a good season. We won 3 games, and now this year, once again, we're here in a situation like this. One of the best teams in the nation, and Miami, and we have to go play them. And I have a feeling we're going to probably play them good, but then we may lose at the end. And this time, we didn't even play good. We were a no-show for tonight. We completely sucked tonight. We had no answer for Miami. No, neither side of the football, neither all three phases of the football, we struggled. We had no energy. We were completely flat. Coach didn't know where she wanted his watch. Kept switching quarterbacks. Our coach, he does that very easily. When he sees a quarterback is not playing good, he'll completely go to the other quarterback. Then he'll flip around, and that's what you saw tonight. Tonight it seemed like just every changing a quarterback almost every time, every 10 minutes, and neither of the quarterbacks performed. Nobody performed. The line have no answer for that Miami defense. That Miami defense is legit. I'm telling you right now, they are legit. They are legit. They had like 5 turnovers tonight. They are the kings of the turnover. They even I believe it's called the chain turnover. They put in a play when they either get a fumble or an interception. And I was making fun of that in the week. I was like, that's going to happen to us. And tonight, it happened to us about 5 times tonight that the turnover chain was put out because we kept either fumbling or throwing interceptions. We had no answer tonight. We really didn't. Worst game of the season. Have no answer for Miami. Their defense was just too fast for us. They kept winning the battles, and they were just pushing our line back. They had no answer. We could never run the ball. Our quarterback didn't know where to should have went his watch. He's used to having time in the pocket. He was getting flushed. We really struggled tonight. I didn't know where to should have went my watch. Had a feeling once we put in it's 20-0 and you put in that other quarterback, that quarterback just completely starts throwing the ball over the place. Nothing really, not really playing very loose. Gets intercepted all the way back, 27-0. That was the knockout punch tonight for Notre Dame. 27-0 went into halftime. They slowed them down in the second quarter. In the second half. In the second half, they slowed them down. I believe it was 27. I believe only 2 touchdowns were scored in the second half. But also, you can say they took their foot off the gas pedal in that second half. And even that, you can tell they took their foot off the gas pedal. That we were able to score a touchdown in the whole game. So that tells you how good they are. And I expect Miami to be in the playoffs. Talk once the new rankings come out in the next few days. We're lost. Our season's finished as far as the playoffs. We are not going to the playoffs this season. We just ran into this very good football team in Miami, and we had no answer for them. From the start, our energy was bad, and that's what happens. We're not as good as we thought, or at least we brought the energy. We matched the energy. And that hurt us. And like from the start, you can tell our energy was not there. It really wasn't. And we're done as far as the playoffs go. Let's see what happens and see what this team is made of. What do you have to finish our season? We have about 2-3 games left. What are you made of? Are you going to fold it and lose some games you shouldn't because you're the president of one of the playoffs? Or are you going to continue and finish the season strong? I think as far as our coach goes, he was, facing some pressure this year. So last year, we only won 3 games. But I think unless they completely fall flat on their face these next few games and lose them, I think our coach, if we can win these next 2 games, I think he can save his job. Because we've only lost 2 games this year. We were playing very good football, the number 3 team in the nation. Unless they completely fall flat on their face and lose more games here, I think our coach will save his job. We'll see what happens, though. But I had a feeling that we were going to lose and we were not going to go to the playoffs. But it sucks that it went this way. That we didn't even put up a fight. We just got the ass whooping of a lifetime by Miami. And shout out to Miami. They're a very good team. I'm excited for that Miami franchise because they have not been good for a long time. Probably since the Ray Lewis days. So I'm excited for that team going in the future. I'm hoping they can get in the playoffs and do something. I'm interested to see if that defense match up against Alabama. That would be a fun matchup to see in the future. So, you know what? We got our ass whooped. Miami, hey, I like you. You guys are. I like watching you guys play. And I'm happy you guys are finally, showing up this year. And hopefully, you guys can go to the playoffs and maybe win a championship this year. Because you guys, man, I was laughing at that fucking chain turnover thing you guys wear, but man, you guys are for real. You guys deserve to go to the playoffs and win a championship this year. So I will be cheering for you. I will be excited for you for the next what's left of the season. Hopefully, you make it to the playoffs and win a championship this year. We'll see what happens. A long ways to go. I think Alabama's going to the playoffs for sure. I just have a feeling they're going to go to the playoffs for sure. As far as everybody else, we'll see what happens. I think Alabama will be number one in the next rankings, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see where Miami goes. You know, all these teams, number 10, Auburn, Miami, number 7. You know, interesting to see where they go. The Sooners, you know, I'm excited to see where these next rankings come out. And I also want to see where my Notre Dame drops. Are they going to go down? Are they going to go down 10, 15? Let's see what happens. Hey, man, we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We're out as far as the playoffs goes. Whatever. Good season from last year, only winning 3 games. So far we had a pretty good season. We'll see how we finish. One last thing before we close out the show tonight. The questions. I am seeing a lot more energy in the questions. I am liking what I'm seeing. I believe we already have like a lot of questions already. Just today. A lot of people are being active. I like what I'm seeing. Obviously, there's a lot of people, you know, continue to ask the questions. Like I said, I will pick 5 every week. But if you ask me a question this week and you didn't get picked because we had more than 5, don't worry. You will for sure be in one of the first in line to get your question answered the following week. So hey, don't feel like, oh, it looks like you already have 5. Don't worry. Put in your question. It's maybe not going to answer this week, but next week you're going to be one of the top questions because you've been waiting in line. So keep it up. I like the way you guys completely woke up tonight with the questions. I saw more energy. Let's continue to see more energy. We already had a lot of questions today. It might even be enough to do a show on Friday. Hey, but it's only Saturday, so keep it up, guys. Let's see more questions. Let's see where it gets us. I want to see how many people can participate in this. We have 100 subscribers. I look at it. 81 people watched that show that I made a few days ago about Mike McCarthy should be fired. Mike McCarthy should be fired. 81 people have watched that video. So that's a lot of people. I have 100 followers and 81 watched it. That's about 75%. So be active in the comment section. I love it. The more questions, the more we have fun here on the C Show. What else can I say? Thank you. Tomorrow, NFL. What the game of the day is probably going to be Cowboys Atlanta. What do we got in the first Arizona Seattle? That was Thursday. We seem to have we don't seem to have that amazing. Well, we'll talk tomorrow about football. But yes, I think that for sure the game of the day tomorrow will be Cowboys Falcons. But we'll see tomorrow night for NFL. And I am working on stuff. I am working to get the show better. We're trying to make some changes, you know, because obviously I'm not liking this setting that much. I think, you know, if you were here in the beginning, the camera was down and you could like, you know, I'm trying to make some adjustments, obviously. Needed to get a new camera, but we're making some changes. We're hoping here in the next few weeks we can have some changes to the show. Maybe move some stuff around. Maybe, I don't know. But yes, we're trying to get the show better. And obviously I will answer that question that was answered about that. You know, who asked me about something to do with the show, that if I would add, you know what, who you are. And that will be answered on Friday because that is also something I'm thinking about adding to the show. But if, you know, whoever asked me that question knows who they asked me, and that will be answered if I will or not add that to my show. Anyways, thank you for watching the show. Put your questions in. Now, a lot of people were quiet last week. Some people that I called out are now, are performing. But now people that performed last week that perform this week, we don't need to have some inconsistent. So I want to see, even though the people that I called out that did not perform last week have performed this week so far. People that performed last week, I would also like to see you be consistent and perform this week. So that's what we get, but we're doing so much better with the activity with the questions. Anyways, I am CE. I will see you tomorrow as I do, here every day. But until next time, I will see you later. And what else can I say? What else can I say? Oh shoot! I mean, yeah, shoot. Oh shoot!